What's up, guys? Mark Toole here, 8020service.com, marktoole.com, with another Quora video question and answer. The question today, I'm just going to apologize in advance for this, is a very, very long question. I'll just read it and then we'll get to the answer. Why do customers ask to speak to the manager to try to get what they want while the manager will not even change anything? Why do customers respect managers' word more than the employees, even if both these workers are telling them the same thing? Okay, so that's the question. Really, they're asking about, in a conventional business, why customers, they're probably an employee there, and customers come in and demand to speak to a manager. Now, why is that? Well, it's because of the way that a lot of these conventional businesses do customer service, the way that they think about customer service, the way that they've unfortunately trained their customers to think about customer service. What does that mean? It means that they run their customer service departments in a way where the frontline customer service agent, whether it's phone, whether it's email, whether it's in person working at a shop, whatever it is basically following instructions, orders, a script. They have a procedures thing here, they have a list of scripts here. If the customer asks about this, do these 4 things and read this script, and so on. Anything that requires an exception, a decision, some sort of action that isn't on the script, some sort of conversation that isn't on the script, they're forbidden from doing. So, what they do when you ask for one of these things, generally speaking, is one of 2 things. They panic and sputter and go off onto the closest scripted thing that doesn't make any sense, or they go and they get the manager. And then the manager, of course, is just the same guy as them, basically. He's not the boss, he's not in charge of customer service, he's not the owner of the company, he's not any of those things. He's just what, in my opinion, the frontline customer service people should be. The person who's allowed to think, who's allowed to make a decision, who's allowed to make an exception and say, hey, sure, that makes sense, let's do this. Doesn't mean he always will, but he's allowed to do that. And the customers have been trained to expect this. They ask for anything other than a simple thing, and the simple things they really shouldn't have to be contacting you about anyways to begin with. They ask for anything besides a simple thing. Oh, let me go ask my manager. So they cut out the middleman. They don't want to deal with you and your bullshit scripts. They have a request that, give me the manager. The manager's the one who's allowed to do things. I don't want to deal with you and your scripts and your thank you for calling company's name. My name is employee's name. I'd be happy to read a long-winded script when you need help with something today, sir. They don't want to deal with that shit. They want whatever they need to call about resolved. They're a little upset that they even had to call or email to begin with, and they certainly don't want to deal with you and your little chart of all the things they want you to do or whatever it is, depending what they're calling about. That's why they want to talk to the manager. Now, even if the so-called manager tells them exactly the same thing, they feel better about it because the manager tells them the thing in a non-scripted way. He speaks as a human being. As I'm speaking to you today, I'm not reading off a script. This is coming from my brain, and the manager does the same thing. He could be giving you the same results. He could be telling you the same answer. The answer is no, we're not going to do what you're asking for. And he's telling you that, but he's telling it in words that makes him sound like a human, like someone who's allowed to think, not a dummy reading off a script. You're getting an answer from a person who says, yeah, I understand what you're saying, this is why we can't do this. That's the answer. Now, sometimes he'll make the exception, sometimes he won't. That doesn't really matter, that's not really the point, but that's why they want to speak to the manager. It's not that it's because it's a manager, it's because it's a person. Because it comes across as a person. Because even if you, working in customer service, of course you're a person, but you're limited by these scripts. You're limited by these procedures manuals. You are not a free person, as we would say. You are a piece of equipment. You're an NPC, you're reading off a script, and the customers know it. The second they begin speaking to you, emailing with you, talking to you in person, whatever it is, they know you're not someone with the power to help them, and they don't want to mess with it. They want to talk to someone who does have the power to help them. That's the simple reason, and the fix for this is somewhat obvious, not completely obvious. I won't go into the full details of it here, but the basics are simple. Just have customer service people who are allowed to think. If you want to have procedures, fine. If you want to have a few scripts, I guess, fine. But keep it to a minimum. make it clear to your customers that they're talking to a real person, someone who can think, someone who can make decisions, and don't try to simulate that with scripts. I know that's what you're thinking. Oh, write a script where it sounds like it's not a script. They'll know. They always know. So, that's the answer, really. Have customer service people who are allowed to think, and they'll function the same way as this manager that you talk about who's not really a manager of anything. He's timing that guy's piss breaks. Guess what? If you didn't put that guy on a script and treat him like a piece of office equipment, you probably wouldn't need to worry about timing his piss breaks. He would just do his damn job. But that's for another conversation. And in fact, if you want to get into that conversation, leave me a comment on this, or better yet, go to the website 8020service.com, get on the email list, check out the archive of posts there. I've talked a lot about this stuff before, so you can find all of that there. Get on that email list. You'll get regular email updates on this. Otherwise, if you like this video, like, thumbs up, follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm going to be doing these videos fairly often now, so definitely come back for another one soon.